Did you know that humans on average swallow between 500 and 700 times a day? Eating and drinking are essential parts of our lives. Not only do food and drink deliver nutrients and hydration to fuel our bodies, but they also connect us to our culture, friends, family, and memories. As individuals age, health challenges and life changes can make eating and drinking more difficult. Minor difficulties can be easily addressed to ensure that mealtimes remain safe and enjoyable. Swallowing food and drink involves many different muscles and nerves working together to transport food from the mouth to the esophagus and to prevent anything from entering the airway. Anyone with a medical condition affecting the nerves or muscles in the head and neck area may experience difficulty swallowing. This includes, but isn't limited to, stroke. Half of the individuals who have had a stroke have difficulty swallowing. Parkinson's disease, dementia, motor neuron disease, and head and neck cancer. Changes to teeth can also cause difficulty chewing food, making it more difficult to swallow. Individuals with few natural teeth or poorly fitting dentures can also be at risk of dysphagia. To recognise the signs of swallowing difficulties, it's helpful to understand the basics of how the swallowing process works. When you eat, food enters your mouth, and you use your jaw to grind it up between your teeth. You use your tongue, lips, and cheeks to move the food around and keep it in the centre of your mouth. Your tongue gathers the food into a ball that is soft and small enough to fit in your throat. This is known as the oral stage. The food is then pushed back into your throat, where a reflex activates to close your airway and open the top of your esophagus. While you stop breathing, food and fluids are pushed down the throat by muscles squeezing together in a downward motion. This is known as the pharyngeal stage. Once you have finished swallowing, your airway reopens and you start to breathe again. It sounds like a complex process for something that most of us do every day and without even thinking. Many professions in aged care work together to make sure that individuals can enjoy safe and enjoyable mealtimes. If an individual has dysphagia, they may be getting help from a speech pathologist, who will assess the individual to find out why they are having difficulty swallowing and to recommend ways to improve swallowing safety. A dietitian, who will work to make sure the individual with swallowing difficulties has the right kind of food and drinks available to them to stay nourished and hydrated. An occupational therapist, who can support the individual's independence during mealtimes with modified cutlery and crockery. And you, the aged care worker, who can help the individual prepare and eat their meals by setting them up successfully, supervising their mealtimes, and providing hands-on help. Someone with dysphagia requires a team of skilled professionals, and you play a vital role in this team. Let's reflect on what we have learnt so far. The way we cook and process food changes its texture. When you change a food's texture, or change the way a fluid flows by making it thicker or thinner, you change the way it moves around the mouth and the type of movements required by the muscles responsible for swallowing. If a speech pathologist notices a reduction or difficulty with specific muscle groups, they may prescribe texture modifications to reduce the risks that come with dysphagia. Take a carrot, for example. A carrot is hard when it is raw, and it takes a strong jaw to bite a piece off. If it is cut into cubes, you don't need to bite it anymore, but it is still hard to chew. If a raw carrot is grated, it is easier to chew than if it is cut into cubes. If raw carrot cubes are boiled, they can become soft, still requiring some chewing effort, but with significantly less effort. Roasted carrots can be mashed with a fork or even blended into a soup, making chewing unnecessary. Individuals with dysphagia may find it easier to chew and swallow foods in different forms. Texture-modified foods and fluids are not an instant fix, and the properties that make them easier to swallow can also cause difficulties in other areas. Let's go over the pros and cons of texture-modified foods and fluids, or TMFs for short.